Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Today's topic is virtual autism. I have to tell you that I had to Google on this term, like I Googled on echolalia because I wasn't familiar with its definition. I'm gonna read it to you because I still cannot keep it in mind, but I think everyone heard it and you will understand the whole thing. So, virtual autism is a form of autism spectrum disorder that is associated with children who spend a significant amount of time playing computer games or using social media. It refers to the challenges with social and communication skills that arise from excessive amount of screen time and virtual interactions. The symptoms are delayed language development, reduced social interactions, sensory sensitivities, I have that, and behavioral changes such as irritability. I'm here as well. So let's be honest to ourselves again. We adults are using our phones in the significant amount of our daily routine time, right? I think all of you can agree with that. Even if we know how it affects our children's behavior, which one of you would take your child's phone away completely, knowing that it's harmful? Don't lie to yourself. Our children are communicating with each other through the internet. They are learning. They are constantly given an enormous amount of information that they immediately learn. It helps them and they become very smart. We adults are sometimes just look at each other asking, how did this kid become so smart? Scientists are collecting data continuously about how this using of the electronic devices influencing babies and children's development. And when I say development, I don't necessarily think of behavioral changes, but also the development of their nervous system, which is obviously developing in a different way compared to the kids who are not using electronic devices at all. You don't have to think of big things, right? In general, we can say that it is also a very, very popular topic today to talk about the differences between the generations, because we are the generation who were watching TV daily simply because we had the ability to watch it daily. But a few generations who we knew, they didn't have the chance to watch TV at all, very simply because they didn't have a TV at all. And these people are different compared to us, and the communication gap between us is something that you can feel and understand, and you don't make a big deal out of it because it's kind of like normal and natural. Now, the same thing is true, I think, in the case of our children. They are different generation, growing up differently compared to us, and that is normal. If you could meet your great grandparents, for example, you will be shocked from the fact that how different they were, how differently they reacted to stress or to anything, very simply because they didn't have these electronic devices around them. It's a normal process. We don't have to demonize minimize it at all. When it comes to older people, like my grandparents, the same scientists are collecting data to prove that it's actually useful for them, very useful, to use these devices every day, not only because they can keep in touch with people and it prevents their loneliness and social isolation, but also because by constantly using their brains to learn different skills all the time, simply by using these devices, it prevents the development of dementia, and that is something huge. So for kids, it's harmful to use it every day. For the elderly, it's useful to use it every day. I don't want to make further comments on that, but I am honest, and I always share my honest feelings and opinions with you, and that is what I'm doing now as well. So when it comes to us, I realized living with my daughter, um, when she uses her phone frequently every day for long hours, she's less likely to communicate with me, and the quality of her communication is completely different compared to uh, when she's not using her phone. And sometimes we are arguing with her, asking her to put the phone down. Sometimes I use it as a punishment, which is, I'm not sure if it's a good punishment or not, or if it's a good way to do this or not, but I'm using it. Like if she said or did something that I previously asked her not to do or say, then I'm telling her, okay, now you're gonna put your phone down for one day and you won't have the ability to touch it or look at it. During these days, if there is 1 day or 2 days or 3 days when she's unable to use the phone, she develops such a better amount and quality of communication. And I think it's not only because of her autism. I think it's true in every case of healthy children as well. I don't try to advise you to take their phone away or anything. I don't want to say anything like this. I'm just telling what my child is doing and how she works. So the more I reduce her phone time or device time, the better her communication skills are. And there is a new phenomenon in our family. If we gather together as a big family, then I ask her to prepare herself and put the phone away for that 1 hour or 2 hour long period of time. She's not always able to keep this during the whole situation, but most of the times she's keeping it for 1 hour or 2 hours. She's not using the phone, and I encourage her to talk to the family members and try to be curious about them and talk. My child is, I don't know if it comes from her autism or not, but when she would not like to communicate with me or with anyone else, she is keep saying things like, I don't know what to talk about, mom or dad or anyone. And for me, at first, I took it as an insult, because I thought, why is it she cannot find out a question, she's not curious about me or anything. But then I realized that she would not like me to take it as an insult, but that is the case, that she cannot talk to me spontaneously. So I was thinking how to solve this, and I'm gonna show you what we do. We bought association game cards. There is a specific game you can play with them, but we don't use them like that. If there is an everyday situation, like we came home from school, workplace, anywhere, and my child is telling me that she would like to talk to me, but she cannot tell me a topic she would like to talk about, then we have these cards, and we don't use them as they should be used. We use it in the way that I collect them all together, and she can choose whatever she wants to. One card she can pick, and she's talking about it. What are her feelings in connection with the card, or what are her thoughts, or what are her experiences, or anything. And after she chose one and she talked about it, I choose one and I talk about it, and either she's listening or not. Sometimes she's not listening to me at all, wandering in her own world with her own thoughts. Sometimes she is paying attention on what I say, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is that the problem is solved. We can talk to each other. We don't have to search for a topic we have to talk about, because there is one picture. And these association games are so good because you look at a picture, and depending on who you are and what your experiences are, you will say different feelings about it, and you will have different thoughts about it. We are all different, right? And you don't have to watch videos, you don't have to use your phone, and still you can find a way to communicate with each other. And especially with a child whose communication skills are not as good as other kids, you can say anything from a picture like this with some amount of imagination. So if you do have the same problem, not being able to talk meaningfully, or you cannot find a topic that you can talk about, or your child is saying nothing happened at school that I can talk to you about, then you can use cards like this. I'm sure similar cards are available anywhere. Look at this picture. It's so much fun to talk about a picture like this or like that. It increases my anxiety, but still your child can react to that very well. Or this one, they are wonderful. and they are developing in speech, imagination, and yes, you need time to spend together without the devices. It's very important, not because they're gonna develop autism, or not because device is gonna worsen their autism, or not because of anything like that, but to improve on your relationship and keep you and your child close to each other. That's all I wanted to say to you today.